Life is all about relationships. In connecting with others, we experience different emotions. I want to share a simple story that most of us would relate to. Meet Swati and Karan and their two daughters, 12-year-old Sachi and 5-year-old Sara. One day, Swati comes home tired and haggard after a long day at work. Karan has come home early after picking up Sara from daycare. Karan requests Swati to buy some milk from the nearby grocery store. Swati snaps at him, replying angrily, "I'm not everyone's servant." Karan gets very upset at her outburst and feels very hurt, and they end up having a major argument. Meanwhile, Sachi enters home looking anxious and nervous. So what we just witnessed here is a typical situation that might happen to any of us. What we saw is three individuals displaying their emotions. But were they really aware of what they were displaying? Were they aware of their emotions? Let's look back at the events. What made Swati react the way she did in response to Karan's request? Now let's try and understand Swati better. Swati has been an achiever all her life and is currently a respected IT professional. She's going through a difficult period in her career as she's torn between spending so much time working and away from home. Despite putting in her best efforts, her boss feels she's slacking and not giving her best. To prove a point, Swati decides to stay late at work that day and requests her husband Karan to pick up their 5-year-old daughter Sara from daycare. Let's see what happened with Karan before Swati entered home. On receiving Swati's call, Karan leaves office early after explaining to his boss that he has to go to daycare. He feels embarrassed and awkward and stutters during the conversation with his boss. And what transpired with 12-year-old Sachi just before she entered the house all nervous and scared? Sachi, the 12-year-old daughter, had pestered her parents for a mobile phone, saying all her friends had one, and insisted on a new, latest device. Earlier that day, unfortunately, she slipped and dropped her phone, shattering the display screen. Hurt and scared, she doesn't know how to break the news to her parents. What we just saw is how easily our emotions can affect us and we can get carried away. In this case, the characters were affected negatively. Starting with Swati, what emotions was Swati going through? Swati was experiencing a lack of confidence, sorrow, tension, worry, self-doubt, confusion, frustration, and guilt. And what do you think Karan was going through emotionally after his interaction with Swati? Karan was dealing with anger, hurt, disappointment, embarrassment, confusion, and a sense of helplessness. Will Sachi's fear manifest into something else? She's not even expressed herself in the story yet. Let's take a deep breath and a moment to reflect on this. How often are we upset because of a situation or because of someone else's actions? We might think we're just angry, upset, or sad, but most of the time, it's a combination of various emotions. We don't even realize what we're going through simply because we let our emotions control us and choose not to address what we are feeling and experiencing. Was it very difficult to enlist Swati's emotions? Had Swati been more aware of her emotions, wouldn't she have been able to tackle the situation better? In the next section, we will understand more about how we can stay balanced and calm and restrain negative thoughts and emotions from taking control of us.